So I'm hosting this webinar today through the help of GMAT Club, just to tell my experience on how I have did my GMAT 3 attempts. So basically, let me introduce myself first. My name is Vijay. I'm from Bangalore. I work for TCS for the last 3.5 years. So the journey of the GMAT has gone for almost 1.5 year since Jan 2015. My first two attempts were of 630 and 670. Later of which I decided to give my final shot. And more of the experience which I'm going to share in the ongoing slides will be about the third attempt only. Nothing Sorry for the interruption. So yeah, as I was saying, like I was telling about my previous experience of the GMAT exam. For the first two attempts, I scored 630 and 670. After which I decided to give my final attempt. So most of the things we'll be talking throughout this webinar are related to the final attempt, of which I have gained more insights. So let's get this started. So what is the scope of this webinar is like, what is the GMAT exam, how it is different from others, what are the different sections, what is not tested on the exam, what is tested, how do you know the correct preparation materials, takeaways from my experience, and the must strategies. So don't worry about this part, like later we'll have a questionnaire part where you can ask any questions you have. So let's
Hi
quickly
Vijay, this
get
is
this
Shobit
started.
from
What
GMAT
is
Club.
GMAT
We are
exam?
getting
GMAT is conducted across the world 365 days for admissions into the top business schools. It is considered a very major criteria. Like people from across the world will be writing this exam every day almost to get admission into there. And these schools are getting serious on this criteria because they are weighing it more. So apart from testing you, GMAT is not an exam like which you just write and then you forget the content or something like that. The skills which you develop throughout your preparation will help you even once you get into your business school. That is the kind of content tested on the GMAT. Everything they test is very much related. So again, why only for 1500 people every year around the world score in the 99 percentile? I would say like even people have the chance, they just don't follow a definite strategy and end up scoring in the lower 85 percentile or 90. They are not able to realize to their full potential. So let's see. So how is this exam different? It is a computer adaptive test. When I say computer adaptive test, the computer designed algorithm assess your ability, and every question your answer will be assessed then and there. Like if you get it right, you'll get a difficult question at the next thing. If you get it wrong, you will get a far below less level question. So what is the biggest challenge here is we
Hi
have to
Vijay,
answer
can you hear
all the
me?
questions on all the sections and complete it on time. That is the most important thing. Heavy penalty will be there if you are not able to complete the exam on the time. So what are the different sections we have on the GMAT? We have analytical writing assessment that is for 30 minutes. So integrated reasoning followed by 30 minutes. Then we have the initial break of 8 minutes followed by quant section of 75 minutes and a verbal section of 75 minutes with the 8-minute break in the between. So my focus will be on the quant and verbal section. AW and integrated reasoning, even though they are important, but they are not counted in the 800 score we have for the GMAT exam. The score level is from 200 to 800, with 200 being the 0 percentile and 800 being the 99 percentile. So, if I ask any one of you to tell me the maximum value of 8 cos A and plus 15 sin A plus 15, something like that, many of you will be like wondering like why do I need to know that? I have did that in my engineering or in my BSc and I forgot that. Not worry, GMAT is not such a test which actually tests you on such critical mathematical concepts, or even you need not understand the Fourier transformation or the compound angle formula, anything else. They test you basically on the basic mathematical and the verbal reasoning skills. And one more thing you need to keep in mind, you cannot score well on the GMAT. If, of course, if you are good at remembering things, it will come in handy. But with us alone, that kind of mentality, no, you are not going to conquer an exam like GMAT. So, what is tested? So, as I told, it is all assessing your basic mathematical and verbal reasoning skills. So why do they want to test that? Because those are the skills which we will utilize during your stay at your B school. So coming to the split, quant section have 37 questions for 75 minutes. It has a scale score of up to 51. It consists of two types of questions, problem solving and data sufficiency questions. Each type of questions will have 5 options. Problem solving deals with the basic arithmetic, algebra and all. more of the permutations, combinations, kind of complex topics are not that much seen, but yeah, you need to know that. Data sufficiency plays a major role in you assessing your capability to take a decision when you have limited information. Hello? So I think it's going to sleep. Okay, fine. Yeah. So the verbal section consists of sentence correction, critical reasoning, and reading comprehension sections. It consists of 41 questions, which is of mix of all the three sections. Again, it's scored of a scale score up to 51. So what is tested on each section? Let me get back to that later part. Yeah. First of all, what is tested on the quant section? Many of us will be worrying about, I'm not good at mathematics. I don't know what to do for an exam like GMAT. So ideally, if you ask me, like, you need not to be a math wizard to answer GMAT quant. So the split, if you ask me, between the data sufficiency and the problem solving, it will be like around same 17 in data sufficiency and 20 problem solving, or kind of vice versa. So time for each question, yeah, it's very important timing when we consider for the exam. 37 questions we are having 75 minutes. So on a broader scale, it is around 2 minutes for each question. So thing is, like, key here is like you should be able to decide whether a particular question is in your scope when you are reading the question at the first time. That is like how the key decision making comes into picture. So if you ask me my take on this section, some people will be saying like, yeah, if you are from an engineering background, GMAT quant is a cakewalk for you. I totally agree with that, but that doesn't mean like if someone is so new to mathematical concepts, someone who has did his math last in high school, so can't he do that? Yes, it can be done. Only thing is like you need to have a very basic idea on your fundamentals. Then it's all about building on the fundamentals. So weightage to the topics are algebra and arithmetic are the most tested topics in this. Although, as I told again, like complex topics like geometry, probability, having a fair idea on them is decent enough to go through this test, because like it is rare you see those kind of questions. So assumptions are like with major pitfalls in the data sufficiency questions. Suppose if I say like is x greater than 0, did I talk about anything of what is x? Is it an integer or is it in a decimal value? I never take. So never take things for granted until and unless it is specified on the quant questions, especially the data sufficiency. In case like, yeah, if you have 2 points and you are asked to find the distance between 2 points, you have the formula. Yeah, it is comes handy and it will save your time. But just don't rely on the formulas. Thing is like we have to uh, see whether we are able to logically derive at those things. Like, and formulas are very useful when you are doing shortcut methods, which will work on some questions. But having a logical reasoning is always a good thing. And what is needed to be good at GMAT Quant? I would say like start your things, see the scope of the topics covered on the GMAT Quant exam, go through the basics, practice few questions of that kind, look into the forums, then try to having a fair idea on each of the topic. Then you start building on the complexity of each topic. That is how you approach. It's not that you just take a solid geometry or a cuboid question and just think about it and get scared. It doesn't, it is not, believe me, it is not that scary as I have seen the exam price. One thing I want to mention here is like the GMAT club tests helped me in gaining my confidence on the quant exam. Like, I'm basically good at quant section. I scored 50 on each on the quant in each of my 3 attempts. But believe me, for the third attempt, I just spent 2 weeks of my time. I'm just doing the GMAT club tests. They are a bit difficult, but yeah, once you start those tests, you will be in a position. It's like You see like the broader concept, what is going to be tested on the exam, and then once you see the main exam, it is all like very easy. So they test you to that much, and again, the scope is the same. Don't think like they test something very complex or something like that. So let me take you through the step-by-step phase of your GMAT journey. So thing is like the first step is the currently which you are doing, knowing about the exam, like having a fair idea on what is the exam going to be testing you. That is always a good thing. Then once you're done with that, you create an account in mba.com, the official website for the GMAT. You download the GMAT prep software, give the first mock exam to see where your current abilities are. So I would recommend this because like in spite of many people saying like this is not a preferred approach, I definitely feel this is the kind of thing you need to do, because like you don't know about yourself and you're going into a battle that will take you nowhere, right? So go through your first mock exam, see your split. It doesn't matter even if you score in the low 400 or 450. Thing is like you have a fair idea by the end of the test what is going to be tested. So based on the result, we'll start with the our preparation. So split the journey of GMAT into two phases. One is the preparation phase, the another is the practice phase. Again, depending on the individual's capabilities, it varies from 1 to 3 months, the preparation phase, and the practice phase. Ideally, it should be around 1 month for everyone. So once we are done with that, we straight away attempt the final GMAT exam. So more of the things like when we book the slot, what are the test prep materials, those are coming in the next slides. So preparation phase, this is the most important phase. So at this point of time, I have a fair idea. Okay, this is my current ability. What's next? You have to choose the correct test preparation materials. That is very important, I feel like. You cannot just go on and practice something blindly which you find somewhere. I see many of the people practicing 1,000 CR questions, 1,000 SC questions. When I check the quality of those questions, they didn't seem relevant to me. So having a right preparation material is like having the right weapon for your battle. So what I used again is my opinion here is like for the third attempt, I have taken the EGMAT verbal online course. That is where I learned to formulate a definite strategy for each kind of questions. So we'll see what are the different kind of questions you encounter on the verbal sections later part. I'll cover on that as well. Don't worry. So we'll generally discuss what is going to happen in this preparation phase. So many of the people will be wondering like whether I need a self preparation or a course. Uh, Everyone is not a genius born, right? So if you ask me, like self preparation is something where you can do well, but always taking a course like someone who is established in the preparation material industry, they'll definitely help you. And every penny you invest is worth for your future. Again, you have to rightly select the test prep company based on the review. I just went through the reviews on the GMAT Club. I believed in eGMAT and I know they can do it for me, and it did. So preparation strategies for the individual sections. Let me cover this on. I haven't touched more on the verbal. So verbal, basically they are testing you on the sentence correction, critical reasoning, and reading comprehension. Sentence correction, why they test you? Yeah, as a successful manager at a reputed company or post your MBA, you need to be able to communicate in a very concise manner to your clients or your team people, where people need to understand whether the correct intended meaning is what you are able to give them. So that is why sentence correction is being put into the part. Critical reasoning, again, critical reasoning tests you. It puts you in a scenario like this is how I do it. Like I have got this thing from my friend. Every critical reasoning question, I see it as a puzzle. Like how many of you would have been known Sherlock Holmes. How Sherlock would have reacted in this kind of situation. So why is this tested? Having a critical information, and you need to make a critical decision on that. Very less information, that too you are in a very constrained time, and you need to make a decision. That is how they are sharpening your thinking skills on that. And reading comprehension, yeah, you have a memo, a 3 to 4 page memo on your desk. You need to comprehend it. What would you do? You need not go to every detail. You just skip the details. You need to get the gist of what they're going to say. Again, for the critical reasoning, sentence correction, and reading comprehension, you can just mail me later so that I can elaborate on that, because it will take so much time if I start telling on those individually. And one thing is like, when you start your preparation, don't go. My suggestion is to not start verbal and quant parallelly. Based on your test performance, you know your strength. Either you start with your strongest area, refine it to such an extent that you have like a solid mindset, like now I'm fine with this, let me conquer the other section. So, or either you're good at verbal, then you do that and go through the other section. Never do both the sections parallelly. That will be like creating a haste. So, quant section, as I already told you, the strategy, how you need to approach your preparation phase. On the verbal phase, start with the sentence correction. Sentence correction is considered the easiest section on the verbal, because it has a limited things to be tested on. You don't need to know every complex grammar rule. They'll be testing you on basic few rules, and you just know them, and it is fine. With thorough practice, you can do that. And once you have attained a significant level of ability on that part, then move to critical reasoning. Once you're done with critical reasoning, then move on to reading comprehension. Again, don't mess up with the things by starting parallelly on all the three. Okay, then let me get to the timing strategies in this phase. Believe me, you are not going to mark your time for this phase. Thing is like, you are trying to get things into your head, so it should not take, you should not count the time that is taking. Oh my god, I'm taking 5 minutes on each SC question. What am I going to do in the exam? Never worry on that part, because like, it is the phase where you are learning things. Learning things, it is fine if you will take long. As you refine your skills, the time gets short. Most important thing, everyone fails, many of the people fail in this preparation phase, is like maintaining an error log. I attempted a SC quiz. Out of 10 questions, I got 5 questions right, 5 wrong. I just go through the questions which are wrong, and then it's like, okay, Baba, if this have been right, I would have done this right. Fine. So this is not my worry. So then and there you just lose it. My thing is like, you just maintain a log for that. Like, this is the question which wrong. This is the concept I faltered at. That will be definitely come very handy when you are revising before the exam. That will be like ideal investment, if you ask me, of your time before the last 1 week of the exam. So how much time you need to put in? Initially, when I was attending one webinar of EGMAT, and they said like, I have to put 300 plus hours to attain the my dream score. So how much time you need to put in? My experience, I'll tell you. As an IT employee, I have to work 9 hours per day. So I used to study 4 hours per day, 2 hours before the office, 2 hours after the office. So it's all about how you manage. You want it, you do it. Nothing prevents you from that. If you have problems and all that, you have to handle it on. Everyone has it, right? So during this preparation phase, at the end of the preparation phase, like I would say like, just see how much you are. You can give another mock test and see. Then if you are feeling confident, like, yeah, next 45 to 50 days I can do this, then you book the slot. Never book the slot of the exam until you are confident. And also, dragging things like more than 6 months, 8 months also does more harm, right? So ideally, time is like 3 to 6 months is the max time you can dedicate for the preparation, entire exam, I mean. So my experience of this phase, I want to tell you, there will be times when you get very much bogged down. Things don't go in the way you expected them to go. Thing is like, stick to your strategy and stick to your schedule. Discipline is the most important thing going to happen here. When you see like 10 out of 10 people who resolved, let's say like 20 people who saw this video, go with a very inspired mind and start their preparation. But when it comes to like second day, 50% drop. Third day, 50% off. Consistency is the key here. Like if you are not able to focus consistently, the all your efforts are into the drain. No matter what, how much you studied the last, it believe me, like if you are not familiar with the GMAT content for at least 2 days, you are bound to forget the things. Whenever you're bogged down with the content, do your thing, explore something on the GMAT itself. Look at your school dream school website. What are the profiles they're looking at? Thing is, like, get engaged with the exam most. uh, to be on the funny part, like I used to get dreams of the exam through my preparation phase. That is scary actually. So next, going through the practice phase. So remember I told about the timing strategy in the preparation phase. You should not bother about the timing. So timing comes into picture here. uh, Sorry, one more thing I forgot. And the preparation phase is like whenever you want to test whether you have improved a significant level on any one section, let's say critical reasoning, you should not never waste your time giving the whole mock exam. That is waste, and we don't have much time to, like, just investing 4 hours to check your accuracy on one particular section doesn't make sense, right? So make use of sectional tests. You will be getting them more. Check out the resources. That should be helpful, and that will definitely save your time as well. Yeah. Back to the practice phase. You need to understand the scoring pattern. Nothing like I need to get this many questions right to get my this much score on the verbal section. Let's say you're targeting for V40. It's not like I need to get 30 out of 30 questions right out of 41. I'll get 40. No, it's not going to work out that way. This is what I'm seeing when you say understanding the scoring pattern. It's consecutive mistakes are very much penalized on it. As you see, it is a graph growing on based on your current question performance. So never underestimate the scoring pattern. Never try to dig deeper into it. Like the more try you try, thing is, like, you have to make sure you're giving your best on each question. You are not going to make guesses consecutively. That is hurting your score more. And yeah, what is the most difficult part about this practice phase? Again, as I said, like, you should be able to stay focused. So difficult part, whether it is the content you're difficult or is it the context? I would say, like, let's say we have the verbal section at the beginning of the exam, right before the AWA section. Everyone will be getting around 740s. Believe me, that is true, because, like, there the context comes into picture. There your mind is so fresh that you will be fine. Yeah, give me anything, I'll do it. That is the kind of mind. But once your energy is drained, so you will not be in a position to give your 100%. So that is the difficult part. I will tell you the right strategy for this phase actually is make it like simulate the GMAT exam, not in the content wise, but in the context wise. You need to have a 4 hour sitting with the same break patterns as the original exam. Make up a quiz, or like do the questions on like how you can customize however you want. But the thing is, like, you should be able to sit for 4 hours focused, and more emphasis should be given on what's happening in the last half an hour. Challenge yourself with the toughest RC passages on humanities for the last half an hour. See whether you're able to do it right. That is how you are building your stamina in this phase. When you come to this phase, everyone will be done with the content, nothing more to learn. It's about putting into the practice. So when do you take the full length mock test? I would say, like, in this phase you can again you can see the different strategies available. Like, some prefer to taking a full length mock test every alternate day. I would recommend take a mock test every week, not more than that, because, like, you have to see a significant improvement here. So without a significant improvement, you are not going to go anywhere. So personally, I have purchased the GMAT prep mock tests. Apart from the basic mock test they gave, I have purchased the exam pack 1 and exam pack 2. Those are like simulation of the GMAT content. And apart from that, I have given the GMAT club sectional tests as well. Why? Because like verbal, I'm faltering at. My weakness is verbal, so I have to build on the verbal. And there, actually, GMAT club tests are like in the same UI as of the original GMAT. That kind of made me accustomed to the main exam. So as I told already, what kind of mindset is required? Staying focused. Believe me, the obstacles I have 99% is the staying focused in this phase. When I go through some question, like I will be getting the in the back of my head, what was the last song I heard? That lyric comes onto the mind, comes on. So that's what I would say. Like here, that is the toughest part. Staying focused onto the exam. Uh, what is the importance of physical health? Oh my God, I cannot say how big is that. You sit for the exam for 4 hours. You don't have a physical exercise. That is going to have an impact on your mentality as well. Like having a physical exercise in the sense like do running or do anything you like, whatever it is your hobby, shuttle or gym, go for it. Don't try to mix that time, save that time for the preparation. That is going to hurt your chances more. So there comes a point in every person's preparation that you have to take a break from the GMAT prep. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm in a sense break like not more than 1 day again, because like you will be again disconnected with the mindset. One day break in the sense like go for your favorite hobby, go for a trekking, do one thing. But thing is like your mind gets saturated to such point. After that, you giving that thing again and again, it won't happen. I can tell you what happened to me 1 week before my final exam. Not even 1 week. It's 3 days before the final exam, and I started giving a mock test, and I scored 640. Think again what could be running in my mind. Like I have exam in 3 months of time, 3 days of time, sorry. For the past 2.5 months, I have been struggling with this thing and I still score less than my second attempt. What am I going to do? Thing is like you need not bang the same door again and again and again and again. There should be a time for break from the preparation. Okay, that is very important. Timing strategies, yes, very important. Like everyone need to have a strength on each section. Let's say verbal sentence correction is my biggest strength, so you need to leverage the time. Personally, I have read the articles of people who scored 800 out of 800. Believe me, majority of them has finished the exam 10 minutes before. How are they able to do that? They're leveraging the time. That means like putting the amount of time required where it is. It's not like going on a orthodox approach like 1.5 minute for each question, no matter what the type of question is. SC question, I finish it in 1 minute. I give 2 minutes for the SCR, right? And again, how many hours you need to put in? That again depends on the individual and the score you are targeting at. But my take is like I never counted how many hours went through the last 30 days. It's like 5 to 6 hours per day, and at weekend it is around 8 hours. It kind of I got addicted to this thing. So never do practicing for the practice sake. It's like, arey yaar, I have to give a mock exam today. If that is the mentality you're giving the exam, definitely you will mess up the exam. So thing is like it should be very much interested to you. Investing onto something for your future, right? So this thing should be very much clear before you do it. It's not you're not in the school like someone trying to push you or something. You are doing it for your own good, and that has to be on the front of your mind. So mock test, as I told you, like the best criteria for selecting a mock test is to see which exam uh, is exactly replicating the same GMAT as algorithm wise and the quality of the questions. Personally, I have given the GMAT prep exams, and for my sectional test practice, I have given the GMAT clubs and the scholaranium of eGMAT. Uh, I have found Manhattan tests also decent. Like their scoring pattern, yeah, again debatable, but the quality of the questions is good. So thing is like how to gain the best out of mock test. It's not like I given the mock test, I didn't see improvement. Yeah, that's it. I leave it. No, every mock test need to be followed by 1 hour of detailed analysis. When I say detailed analysis, don't get me wrong. You are not just going to write down things which went wrong. Thing is like you are going to write down things which went right as well. Further, did the things go right for the right reasons? If not, they are fluke, right? So mark your weaknesses, work on those sections. For every mock test, I mean to say like you have to improve on what we did wrong in the same in the last mock test. You should not repeat the same mistake. So ideal way to review a mock test: separate it sectionally, see the things which went wrong on the quant, debrief it under data sufficiency, problem solving. Again, under which topic am I faltering it, which topic is taking me more time. Thing is like the GMAT is such a beautifully designed exam. If you uh, get stuck at one question, the next 5 to 6 questions are going to be impacted. Believe me, your mind goes panic, and in that panic mode, the questions which are supposed to get right also you'll miss these things, right? So in the verbal section again, split them into the sentence correction, critical reasoning. Again, under critical reasoning, did I get the assumption questions wrong? Did I get the bold-faced questions wrong? So that kind of detailed analysis should be there. This again has to be put on your error logs. That is very important. So this aspect is like most neglected, I would say, like because like I have observed many people who have given the exam but they haven't did this. So when you're giving a full length mock test, your spine should be straight. When I say straight, your back should be leaning to your chair. Your spine should be straight, legs wide spread, and your hands onto the keyboard. Straight. You need to stay through the same posture throughout the exam, and you need to keep yourself as calm as possible. It's like you once you get panic, you keep on getting panic, and like that will have a very negative effect on you. Like throughout your practice phase, you're training your mind, to gather that stamina. Like you are experiencing the same thing so that it doesn't happen on the main exam, right? So you have to do your own strategy. Meditation works, if you ask me. Again, it can be different for anyone. Like you have your own way of controlling your mindset. So again, presence of mind, focus. So you should ideally your test conditions should be like you should be lost into the test. Something should not external should never disturb your thing. If you ask me what the strategies, go for the 4 hour sitting must in the practice phase. At least for 2 days, you need to sit for 4.5 hours. You are stretching your mind, training it to get used to the main exam. Test conditions: don't lie on your sofa or your bed and give the exam lying or doing. You have to simulate the same test conditions. That is how you are going to make the best advantage. So I would say like in this, when you reach to a full length mock test, on seeing a particular kind of questions, let me say like a main point question on a reading comprehension passage, I should have a definite formulated strategy for answering that question. Everyone will be having different strategies on this part. That depends on the preparation materials you choose. But EGMAT actually helped me in that thing. Like whenever I see a strengthened question, I know what I need to do. When I see a modifier question on sentence correction, I know where they are going to put the for. I even was able to guess where the right answer could be, which option. That is how traditional practice gives you things. Accuracy versus ability. You as a future MBA, you need to make a quick decision. You have to have that. So no point in investing 5 minutes for one question which is beyond your reach. You need to make a tough call there. Make a strategic guess. Many people just do the blind guess, but when I talk about strategic guessing, you know that these two options you eliminate, and out of the rest of the three, you take one option. That is how strategic guessing is. So these are the things we need to get during the full length mock test, and what you need to do 1 week before the test. Trust me, you should not revise, you should not look into any new materials right from 1 week before the test. many of you might be wondering, "Arey, 1 week is too early, yaar. Why you are asking me not to look at it?" This is a very valuable time. Remember the error logs which we did. This is the right time to do the things. This is the time when you will be talking to yourself about the mistakes you made and saying to yourself that you are not going to do the same in the future. 1 week before the test, I personally, my experience, I was in a position to guess the patterns on the critical reasoning questions, guess the type of the thing being tested on the SC. And RC, yeah, again, RC is quite variable. You cannot have a solid strategy for that, but there are strategies which works and which work for me. Again, the GMAT strategy. And what is running in your mind is like you need not obvious suggestion is to don't get panicked. That everyone can say, but how many can implement that? That is the tough thing. I would say like worrying about the things just make the things worse. So you have did your best and you will get your best score. That's it, simple. So test day, what you need to know where your exam center is, how much time ideally you take, what is your mode of transportation, either you go to a public accommodation or you have your own transport. Check the test center 1 week before when you are free. That will not create panic on that day. So have your breakfast, the same breakfast which you are having. Don't change everything, because like I heard people saying like drink Red Bull or coffee or something. Everyone has their own diet, right? Don't make any additional changes to that. Make it as simple as the other day. So best use of breaks. Have plenty of water, because through your thinking, your mental energy is drained. So water is very much needed for best functioning of your neurons. Have something of salt. I had the salted peanuts. That having the right food is also important. You need to stay focused. So just once you are done successfully through your preparation phase and test phase, you know how to do all these things. You know how to stay calm. And on an outer line, what I would suggest is on the quant part, don't worry much on the complex things. Just get through the basics, and you are sure short of a Q49 or 50. And on the verbal thing, many people would be telling you about the reading comprehension weighs more and more. It's a myth or not, I'm not sure. But thing is like reading comprehension, if you are able to go get those questions correct, you are definitely going to have an advantage. That happened to me. So I have my experience. I just debriefed this into these particular slides. And by the way, I scored 730 on October 8th, 2016. Now I'm in my application phase. So why I did this thing is like I want to share this information to all the fellow people who are giving the exam. Any doubts you have anytime, you can contact me. You can get my mail ID. You can write to me. You can WhatsApp me. So now we will take this through the questionnaire section. Hmm? Give me 1 minute. Yeah. Hello. We have an interesting question here. How do you tackle anxiety on the test today? Uh, Very nice question. See, when you will be having anxiety on the test day, you are going to have the same thing on your mock test as well, right? In that case, what kind of anxiety you get? You get wrong on the concepts. Personally, on on my front, when I get anxious, I lose focus. And one mantra work for me is like I just tell to myself like, just you be here. This is the whole purpose of this thing. So you tackle anxiety on the test day. It's quite common for everyone. Thing is like you have to train that during your mock exam. Every mock exam you are giving, you are telling to yourself like this is my final exam. So taking every mock test as the simulated main exam will definitely give you an advantage. Hope I answered your question. Best preparation materials for GMAT. We have question from Jason Jose. Jason, I will tell like if you are asking my opinion on that front, I am a person who have prepared for the CAT exam, which is considered prestigious in India. So Quant helped me with that. My preparation materials for Quant are the Time Institute materials, and you have a very good material in the GMAT Club as well. Bunel Quant book, that is a very solid compilation of every topic you need to know. And for the verbal part, EGMAT verbal course just did the trick for me. We have one question. Which schools as an Indian IT male are you looking at? Uh, that actually is out of the scope of the discussion, but yeah, I'm currently looking. I have an admit from top two Canadian schools, but I'm concentrating on the US schools as of now. Let's see how it goes. Maybe in the future I can just uh, make a presentation on my experience with the admissions as well. Hope I answered. And again, schools are not something you just based on your Indian IT mail is a very general category, but still there are a lot of things being tested in your profile, not your sole work experience, your leadership traits, your team management skills, your giving back to your community. These all play a crucial role. Just don't undermine yourself when you are falling into the Indian IT mail. You can do well. So we have one more question here. How much uh, did you prepare for the IR and AWA question? Thing is like integrated reasoning, you have four kind of questions. So I'm very good at solving the logical reasoning puzzles. But yeah, you should give it a 2-3 days of preparation for the IR. And AWA, you just need to write yourself on the same practicing with 4 to 5 essays. That should be fine to get a decent score of 5 out of 6, if you ask me. Uh, Anything else? The thing is like uh, through this webinar, I want to tell one thing is like I just giving you the basic information, guys. You need to do your research on the preparation materials. What worked for me may not work for this thing. So I want you to personally dwell into each of the phases. Any problem, any suggestion you need to get through me. I'm always there. GMAT Club has helped me a lot, so you can always post your questions over there, get associated with the people who are into this for so many years. Uh, so it's long journey, I would say. Like, don't get disheartened at any point of time. That is the thing. Stay focused, and you can do your well. All the best, everyone. Thank you.